All right, everyone ready? I'm going to call this meeting to order. And today we don't have anything at the top of the commission, although I will point out that we have made a little bit of a change. Actually, our amazing city clerk has. So now what you'll see on the screen over there is a resolution with some of the language. And so we're still learning this new system and new technology in this room. And so you'll continue to see improvements, I am sure, in the months ahead. And today you'll see one of them. So with that, Commissioners, I'm going to jump right into the agenda as we have a full agenda before us today. Just a couple of reminders. We do have public safety today at 11. I'm going to make sure that we get to that because I always feel bad when we go over and we have people waiting or we have to cancel. And then we do have a city commission lunch going into our noon special briefing. So we have a briefing today back here in this room. We're going to have a presenter, Dr. Mark White, present to us. And then another reminder, we have our second city commission work session today at 2 o'clock. That will also be in this room this time, and we'll be focusing really in follow-up to our earlier discussion on affordable housing. And then tonight, we have our oath of office of our new city attorney, Anita Hitchcock. So we'll do the swearing-in oath of office at 6 o'clock, and then Anita will be joining us for our 7 p.m. meeting as our sitting city attorney. So that's kind of a rundown of the day and what's before us. And we'll get started on the agenda. So first resolution before us today is a resolution approving a request from HP3, which is the JW Marriott for a temporary authorization outdoor service permit in connection with their JDEC Summer Soiree.
So moved.
Good morning.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
On July 14th, HP3 LLC applied for a temporary liquor license to be used for their JDEK Summer Soiree, which is on Friday, August 12th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the JW Marriott. The application has been reviewed by the required departments and is being recommended for approval.
Great. Questions, Commissioners? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It carries. All right, next that will take us to item number 2, and this is a resolution approving a combined brownfield plan amendment under Act 381 of 1996 for the RDG Walker LLC for the Walker View project. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Support.
All right, Kara Wood, you want to tell us about this?
Good morning. A public hearing was held on this brownfield plan amendment. Total capital investment for the project is approximately $12 million, where the developer will pay for and install the public infrastructure improvements for which they are seeking reimbursement. Those eligible infrastructure activities total $6.2 million, and it is expected that this will be reimbursed over a 10-year period should you approve and recommend this plan amendment to the state of Michigan. There are 1,300 new full-time jobs and 200 new part-time jobs expected to be created as a result of this project, and the Economic Development Project team did review this on April 12th.
Great, thank you, Kara. I think we're all really familiar with this project. This has been a work in progress and in partnership with our friends and colleagues over in Walker. Any questions, comments? All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It carries. All right, next that will take us to item number 3, and this is a resolution approving a new 3-year contract award for healthcare administrative services. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Support.
All right. Mary Beth, it looks like you have your team coming up here. All right. We'll let y'all start. Go ahead.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. This agenda item is to provide a recommendation for the third-party administrator for the city's self-insured health plan. This item was originally presented.
Can you speak more into the microphone?
Yes,
Or
yes.
maybe even pull it up a little bit?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. This item was originally presented on the June 14th City Commission meeting and was subsequently tabled pending further review and discussions. After careful review and reanalysis of all the elements involved, the city's healthcare team continues to recommend Meritain Health for the medical and vision, Delta Dental for the dental, and 4D Pharmacy for the prescription drugs. This recommendation is based on the overall bid proposal. It wasn't just looking at one factor or just one element of it. It was looking at the whole overall picture. And also, this recommendation has the full unanimous support from all of the union presidents. So therefore, we are requesting an award and approval for a 3-year contract renewal for Meritain and 4D, and a new 3-year contract for Delta Dental.
Okay, questions? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, sure. Just overall, I think what's important, I mean, this came before fiscal, and that's why, it was pulled, because we wanted to get further information. I think what's important is just to be transparent about where we reached and what happened. So can you walk through, because the consultant that we hired recommended Blue Cross Blue Shield. Our own staff did some further analysis of why that didn't meet and match. And so if you can walk me kind of bullet point through why we wouldn't go with that recommendation, that would be really helpful.
Okay, yes, we had to do our own analysis because in reviewing the RFP, the entire process, we had found some inconsistencies. We had asked for the data that was sent to all of the bidders, and we had reviewed that ourselves.
The detail of that was what I was looking for, not just a generalized. So maybe kind of explain, because why they had recommended them, I think, initially was because there was a potential for more savings on the claim side. In fact, up to a $2 million savings in claims, and that data should have been done based on the history that we had. So I think my understanding is that city staff looked back at the claims history and verified that against that.
Right, we had done that too. For example, there was in one of the proposals, there was a guarantee that we can guarantee these savings. But when we looked at the details of the fine print, it turns out that we needed to exclude high dollar claims over $100,000, and we need to buy up on our wellness plan. And once factoring all those things in, once you remove all the high dollar claims, then we would not meet a required base amount of money that needed to be spent in order for the guarantee to come into effect. So, as an example.
So it would be fair to say that based on at least 3-year historical claims average, that we wouldn't meet what we needed to actually get the discounts there. So it's throwing out a discount that in fact if you had done a full review as a consultant, you would have said, I didn't meet that based on the claims history. I wouldn't have met that. So I shouldn't have marked that as amount of savings because I wouldn't have met that. Is that?
Exactly. Mhm.
Commissioner?
No, I want to thank the fiscal committee for slowing this down and really understanding this. I think it's important to do reviews around health insurance these days because it's such a changing marketplace. So to have that opportunity every few years to do this, but we had the opportunity to have this explained to us in briefings, and I feel very comfortable that staff has done its homework, and it's important that we did to make sure that those savings, it appeared good on the surface, but that we actually would not have been able to meet that threshold. So very much appreciate that and support the decision that you have brought to us.
And I think on that note, Commissioner, I want to say that this is a highly capable team. We have the best employees in the world who understand the details, the complexities, the analytical methodologies that need to be applied. And you have a vendor, you hope that in all respects you can agree with the vendor, but it's our job to do what's right for the organization and for the employees. And health insurance is an important benefit, and the analytics that the team did, and we sat down with Scott and Eric and with the commissioner. So I think you're absolutely on point. I'm glad that it was slowed down so we had done really great. We read the fine print, and that's what I like all the vendors to know. we're your high-maintenance clients, because we're going to do our own back-end analytics to verify what you've come up with. And most of the times, we will agree. But when we don't, we're going to take issue with it, and we're going to follow what we know to be the case. And again, as Joe indicated, all the unions, 100%, presidents, 100% support the recommendation.
Thank you. Commissioner?
I just want to go on record to get a couple things out there that I said actually in our ward briefing, is that healthcare is a huge expense for this city, so I'm glad we're taking the time to dig deep and make sure we're making the right decision. Personally, way back in the day, when I lived in Chicago, the company that I worked for was self-insured, so and I was an executive in that company, so I understand what it's like to be self-insured. We had about 2,500 employees. And just from a straight business sense, it makes sense to me that a healthcare provider, a healthcare provider like Blue Cross is not going to potentially be as competitive as a company that's specifically designed to be a third-party administrator. It's not apples and oranges. So that being said, I am a little bit disappointed that we have spent money on a consultant and then not gotten back the results from the consultant when staff looked at it. That would have been to the best benefit of the city. So I do understand that our contract with that consultant has expired. If not, I think we need to look at expiring it, because this is ridiculous that we had to spend as much staff time on this as we did, when we could have gotten to this result on our own without spending money on a consultant to do that. I'm not
Well, in
blaming
fairness
you,
to
I'm
the-
blaming the consultant.
Yeah, in fairness to the consultant, obviously their scope of services expand for a lot longer than just this issue. But I'm letting you guys know that the truth of the matter is, when it comes to spending taxpayer dollars, we're gonna scrutinize everything. We are, like I said, we're the ones that read the fine print. And when you say you cannot administer a customized plan, we take you at your word, because we know what that means for the work we'll have to do on the back end of that. So, in fairness to the consultant, they did their best recommendation. We disagreed, and we confirmed our disagreement on that, and our job is to come forward with the best recommendation. And so,
And again, I think we're saying the same thing, Mary Beth. My point is, we are looking out for taxpayer dollars, and I applaud the staff for making sure that we're spending the right amount of money to administer this program. My concern, again, though, is that we're paying, at the same time, we're wasting taxpayers' money by paying for a consultant that's not giving us the best result economically for the city. So I'm just going on record, it's not an accusation towards you guys at all. You didn't hire the consultant. I mean, so I just want to go on record as saying that.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It carries. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next that will take us to item number 4. This is a resolution approving a submission of a neighborhood enterprise zone exemption certificate for Quimby Corner, which is located at 220 Quimby Street.
Support.
All right, Kara Wood, you want to tell us about this?
Yes, again, we held a public hearing on this request filed by the developer of a property that will contain 44 market rate rental units, approximately 8,300 square feet of ground floor retail space, and also a commercial space above that retail. It also provides 30 on-site parking spaces, and the